What kind of knowledge requires an alphabet no reader can recognize, plants no botanist can identify, and diagrams whose meaning disappears beneath their symbols? The Voynich Manuscript offers no confirmed answer. Its pages carry a dense, undeciphered script across a medieval codex, surrounded by strange botanical forms and astrological designs. The object exists. Its language, purpose, and author remain uncertain. The parchment itself anchors the mystery in physical history. Carbon dating places the vellum in the early 1400s, making it a genuine 15th century artifact, or at least an artifact assembled from material of that period. The date does not reveal who wrote the pages. It only establishes that the manuscript belongs to a world of medieval workshops, inherited learning, and handwritten books whose circulation was often difficult to trace. The manuscript entered modern history through Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book dealer who brought it to public attention. His name became attached to an object that had already traveled through obscurity. The surviving record does not provide a simple account of its creation, ownership, and transmission. Instead, it offers fragments, leaving investigators to ask whether the book preserved an older secret, recorded an unknown system, or was designed to appear more meaningful than it was. Its illustrations intensify that uncertainty. Some pages resemble herbal manuscripts, yet the plants resist confident identification. Other sections contain circular diagrams and celestial motifs, suggesting astrology or cosmology without supplying a readable explanation. The drawings appear organized rather than random, but organization alone cannot establish meaning. A careful imitation of knowledge can look remarkably similar to knowledge itself. That distinction lies at the center of the investigation. If the images represent real subjects, the script might preserve technical information in a lost language or code. If the images were invented, they could have served as imaginative decoration around a fabricated text. The same page can support both possibilities, because its symbols are coherent enough to invite interpretation but inaccessible enough to prevent verification. The writing has therefore become the manuscript's most contested evidence. Its characters recur in patterns, and its vocabulary appears to follow regular habits. This has encouraged cryptographers and linguists to search for structure beneath the surface. Yet repeated symbols do not automatically form a language. A cipher, an artificial notation, a meaningless sequence, and a genuine but unknown script can all produce apparent regularity. Computational linguistics gives investigators a way to test those impressions without relying solely on intuition. By measuring symbol frequencies, word-like units, repeated sequences, and relationships between sections, researchers can compare the manuscript's patterns with known languages and writing systems. Such analysis does not translate the text. It asks a narrower question. Does the distribution of signs behave more like meaningful communication or like deliberate fabrication? The results remain subject to debate. Some statistical features resemble the structure found in human language. Others resist straightforward comparison. A system created to imitate language might reproduce selected surface patterns, especially if its designer understood how manuscripts normally looked. Conversely, a genuine language may appear artificial when its grammar, vocabulary, and writing conventions have no surviving relatives. The vellum complicates every theory of fraud. A later maker could have obtained old parchment, but the material would still place a limit on the manuscript's physical history. The date cannot identify the writer, and it cannot prove that the contents were composed at the same time. Yet it makes a simple modern forgery implausible. The question becomes more precise. Was the object created in the medieval period as a meaningful book, or as a medieval deception? A sophisticated hoax would not need to communicate anything. It would need to persuade a particular audience that communication existed. An invented script, unfamiliar plants, and authoritative diagrams could create the appearance of concealed expertise. For a wealthy collector, the promise of secret knowledge might have been valuable in itself. But this theory must explain the manuscript's sustained internal consistency, not merely its strange appearance. The alternative is a lost system of knowledge. Its author may have used a private language, an encoded form of a known language, or a notation whose cultural setting has vanished. Medieval intellectual life included herbal medicine, astrology, theology, and natural philosophy, often combining observation with symbolism. A text from that environment need not resemble modern scientific writing. Even so, a genuine system should leave some trace of function, translation, or historical connection. That trace has not been securely found. Cryptographers have proposed readings, and researchers have identified possible word boundaries and recurring grammatical patterns, but no translation has achieved broad acceptance. The failure is not simply a contest between clever guesses. It reflects the absence of a bilingual key, a known author, or a parallel manuscript that could constrain interpretation. The manuscript's silence also changes the role of expertise. Historians can examine its materials and documentary trail. Paleographers can study the forms of its characters. Botanists can compare its images with real plants. Computational linguists can test statistical behavior. Each discipline can narrow possibilities, but none can independently supply the missing cultural context. The mystery survives partly because the evidence belongs to several fields and resolves none of them completely. That intersection between medieval history and computational analysis is where the case becomes most revealing. Data can show that the script is patterned, but not why it was patterned. Historical context can show what kinds of books existed, but not whether this book belonged to a recognized tradition. Interpretation begins where measurement ends, and that boundary is precisely where confident claims become dangerous. Even the word manuscript can mislead. It suggests a unified work, yet a codex may gather sections with different purposes, sources, or stages of composition. The Voynich pages might represent a single project, an assembled collection, or an object altered over time. Without a deciphered script, those possibilities cannot be separated by reading the author's own intentions. What can be said with confidence is narrower, but significant. The vellum is medieval in date. The writing is undeciphered. The imagery is organized around recognizable categories of knowledge, while its specific references remain uncertain. Wilfrid Voynich gave the manuscript its modern name, but not its origin. Computational linguistics has revealed patterns, not a translation. Every advance has clarified the shape of the problem without closing it. That restraint matters because mysteries invite conclusions faster than evidence permits. The manuscript is not proven to contain secret science, and it is not proven to be an elaborate fraud. Its apparent order may reflect language, code, notation, imitation, or a combination of these. Each hypothesis explains some features and strains against others. The unresolved tension is not a weakness in the investigation, it is its most defensible result. The Voynich Manuscript endures because it confronts a basic assumption about the past, that surviving objects eventually yield their meaning. Here, the material evidence speaks clearly about age, while the written evidence refuses translation. A 15th century vellum book has crossed centuries carrying signs that still have no agreed voice. Until that voice is recovered, its origins remain an open historical question, suspended between lost knowledge and deliberate illusion. If this mystery captured your imagination, subscribe for more evidence-driven investigations into history's greatest unexplained mysteries. New episodes of Exposed every week.